Just a month after the US slapped higher tariffs on China, the European Union has followed suit. Additional tariffs on Chinese electric cars will begin next month. This move would take levies on EVs to as high as 48%. The 20-member bloc has formally notified Chinese car makers BYD, Geely and SAIC Motor parent SAIC of the duties on battery electric cars due to be implemented from the 4th of July, following an investigation of subsidies that China offered its EV players, making them hyper-competitive in Europe and hence a detriment to the sales of European electric vehicles. The EU has opened a barrage of trade probes against Beijing on grounds of anti-dumping and unfair subsidies, especially in the clean technology sector after losing much of its solar sector to China a decade ago. The individual duties will hit SAIC Motor Corp hardest. The state-owned company owns the British brand SAIC Motor, whose mass market models like the MG4 are among those leading the charge into Europe. SAIC's tariffs are set to increase by 38.1% on top of the existing duty of 10%. Aside from SAIC's top rate, BYD will have to pay an additional 17.4% levy, and Geely, which owns Volvo, faces an extra 20% charge. The duties are not just hitting Chinese brands, but even European and American brands that manufacture in China and export to home countries. Tesla, BMW and Renault are set for an extra tariff of about 21% based on a weighted average. But China is not one to take this lying down. Beijing has threatened duty retaliations across agriculture, aviation and cars with bigger engines. It has already launched an investigation into European liquor imported into China. EU is walking a tightrope. It wants to protect the region's auto sector that provides millions of jobs while also pushing a green agenda by eliminating tailpipe emissions. The tariffs are likely to cut imports from China by a quarter, amounting to roughly $4 billion. EU's inspiration seems to have come from the US, when last month the Joe Biden administration doubled the duty on Chinese EV imports, quadrupled the duty on electric vehicle batteries, and also upped tariffs on semiconductors, solar cells, and certain steel and aluminium products. In this latest round of trade wars, should China worry, and can it become advantage India? Not so soon. China is confident that despite high duties, Western economies would not be able to match Chinese cost efficiencies. For India, it's an all-new story. For one, despite fears of dumping, a trade deal with China on electric vehicles and allied industries could give momentum to India's own EV ecosystem. Can India replace China as the leader in EV manufacturing for the world? Unfortunately, that's still a pipe dream, and barring Tata Motors, trends from Indian automakers don't suggest any signs of India becoming a global EV disruptor just as yet.